St. Francis of Sales, Bishop, Confessor, Doctor of the Church. Francis was born of noble and pious parents, near Annecy, in 1567, and studied with brilliant success at Paris and Padua. On his return from Italy he gave up the grand career which his father had marked out for him in the service of the state, and became a priest. He studied at Annecy, Paris, France and Padua, Italy. He received a doctorate in law at the age of 24. He was ordained a priest in 1593. When the Duke of Savoy had resolved to restore the church in the Chablais, Francis offered himself for the work, and set out on foot with his Bible and breviary and one companion, his cousin Louis of Sales. It was a work of toil, privation, and danger. Every door and every heart were closed against him. He was rejected with insult and threatened with death. But nothing could daunt or resist him, and ere long the church burst forth into a second spring. It is stated that he converted 72,000 Calvinists. He was then compelled by the Pope to become coadjutor Bishop of Geneva, and succeeded the see in 1602. At times the exceeding gentleness with which he received heretics and sinners almost scandalized his ends, and one of them said to him, "Francis of Sales will go to paradise, of course. But I am not so sure of the Bishop of Geneva. I am almost afraid this gentleness will play him a shrewd turn." "Ah," said the saint, "I would rather account to God for too great gentleness than for too great severity. Is not God all love? God the Father is the Father of mercy. God the Son is a lamb. God the Holy Ghost is a dove, that is, gentleness itself. And are you wiser than God?" He became an outstanding confessor and spiritual director, and spiritually guided Blessed Maria Carey and Saint Jane Frances de Chantal. He founded several schools. He was gifted in spiritual writing and wrote the spiritual classics, Introduction to the Devout Life and the Treatise on the Love of God. In union with Saint Jane Frances of Chantal he founded at Annecy the Order of the Visitation, which soon spread over Europe. Though poor, he refused provisions and dignities, and even the great see of Paris. He died at Avignon, in 1622. He was canonized in 1653 and declared a doctor of the Church in 1877. Reflection. You will catch more flies, St. Francis used to say, with a spoonful of honey than with 100 barrels of vinegar. Were there anything better or fairer on earth than gentleness, Jesus Christ would have taught it us. And yet he has given us only 2 lessons to learn of him: meanness and humility of heart.